Let's get some analysis now with Mehmet Celik in Istanbul. He's a journalist and political analyst and editorial coordinator at the Daily Sabah newspaper. Good to have you back with us, Mehmet. Ahead of President Erdoğan's trip to Gulf states, he did comment on Russia's decision to suspend its involvement in the grain deal. President Erdoğan sounded optimistic that perhaps the deal could get back on track and that he might speak with President Putin about it. Can you tell us what is Turkey's role in firstly brokering this deal, and what could Ankara do in order to get Putin back into the agreement?
Well, when the two of the major grain exporters of the world are fighting each other, a lot is at stake for all parties around the world, and particularly in the developing world. And Turkey has been being a key player in this deal through the very good and solid relationship President Erdoğan has with Mr. Zelensky on the one side and Mr. Putin on the other side. And through this leader-to-leader diplomacy, they have been able to facilitate several meetings for different reasons, be it for the grain deal, for the prisoners swap, the meeting in Antalya, and also in Istanbul. So Turkey has been a very active and assertive mediator between the two sides to ensure that this grain deal actually materializes, and also continues. And now that it has halted, it will be halted as of today, as per the announcements. Mr. Erdoğan wants to utilize this leader-to-leader diplomacy and his leverage in this relationship with Mr. Putin to make sure that this deal will continue, which will benefit not only the global food prices, but also many in the developing world, where they are actually the receivers of this grain. On the Russian side, however, there is a lot of skepticism with regards to their fertilizers and their grain not reaching the markets, and that these exports are mainly going to the Western European side. So there's a lot of skepticism. But I think one of the key aspects of this halting of the deal and from the Russian side is that following the NATO summit in Vilnius, I think this is being used as a very good bargaining chip for their sake, which the meeting was in a way where NATO realized its own potential and actually put its foot on the ground as a united front. And this is something that I think has been very effective on this decision coming from Kremlin with regards to stopping the grain deal and raising the bar for negotiations and to continue the exports of the grain from the Ukraine. So I think this was a deal already on the shaky grounds for the Kremlin, but the recent developments, particularly even, I mean, they are saying that this is not linked, but the attacking of the Kremlin, the attack of the bridge in the Crimea, I think is also part of these series of developments that makes Russia use this deal as a bargaining chip vis-a-vis the West.
Okay, Mehmet Celik, we will have to leave it there, but thanks as always for joining us and sharing your analysis. We appreciate it.